Hello, everybody. Hi, brother.
Hello, how are you?
Can you believe we're here?
Not really, no.
Should we just rehash our childhood?
The whole thing right now?
The whole thing.
Yeah, welcome to Robbie and Nicole's therapy session.
So happy to have you all here with us. We can do this together. Are we kidding? Oh my gosh, I love that. You know, usually I start off with the how we met stories, but I think it's pretty clear how we met. We both happened to be children of Shane and Soraya Kelly. We were forced in proximity with one another, growing up under the same roof. Isn't that kind of bizarre when you think about it? Like siblings, that's your parents' other kid.
Never once have I thought about how bizarre siblings were.
I texted Michael on his birthday and I was like, I'm really grateful you're our parents' other kid. Because truly, the only reason that we live together, that we know each other now, is because my parents had you and then they had me. I'm glad that you're my parents' other kid. But...
Well, I appreciate that.
But anyways.
I feel like we didn't actually meet until I was like 16. That really is actually where you and I finally figured things out. It was a long childhood.
I think the best way to explain it is to replay really quick Mom and Dad getting home from my 3rd grade parent-teacher conference. Okay. Do you remember this?
No, not at all.
Maybe I remember it so vividly because I got in so much trouble. Mom and Dad come home from 3rd grade parent-teacher conference with my teacher.
Okay.
They said that we need to sit down and talk.
To you and me? Or
no,
just
it's just
to
me.
You? Okay, to you.
I don't know. Maybe you were there. In my childhood, I'm the only one that was there, but you could have been at the table as well. Who's to say? They were so upset because my teacher brought up the concern that I hated you so much that she was actually concerned.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We did not get along at all. And apparently at school, I had said something about like, not liking you and hating you. So I remember Mom and Dad being like just so ashamed.
Oh.
They were like, how dare you tell people that you hate your brother? And I was like, well, I do. We didn't get along super great.
No, we didn't. I'm the oldest of 4. It goes me, Nicole, Michael, Jeffrey. We're all 2 years apart. And I think really where the sibling rivalry came from was me being the oldest, thinking that I'm in charge anytime Mom and Dad go. And Nicole not wanting anybody to tell her what to do in any capacity that includes our parents. So when it's your older brother who's only 2 years older than you, I've got no moral authority in her eyes to dictate any form of behavior.
I mean, I do feel bad. I was a very manipulative child, a mean sister, we could say, to Robbie specifically. I was pretty nice to Michael and Jeffrey.
Oh, you guys were buddies. You were the mother hen of those two. And then you had mean older brother Robbie. Which, by the way, let's also say, I hold zero resentment. I have let bygones be bygones. The best thing about growing up is letting your siblings grow up, too. I don't hold anything against you at all.
Which I genuinely appreciate because I feel like I did a lot of things that you could hold against me. Because Michael and Jeffrey would listen to me and do what I said, but you wouldn't, and so I would make them exclude you. Guys, I was the worst. I'd be like, no, you can't play house with us. Or like I would play teacher, and I would literally print out homework assignments for Michael and Jeffrey to do. We were spending our free time doing math so that I could play teacher because I loved it. Then you would come along and I'd be like, you're not in this class.
I had zero idea you gave them homework. I have a couple core memories from my childhood.
Oh gosh.
In relation to our relationship.
Okay, they're probably going to paint me in a negative light, but I'm ready. I deserve it.
The one is, I remember getting, one of those hoop knitting rings for Christmas.
To make the hats?
To make the hats or the scarves or something, right? And it was Christmas break, and Nicole, once again, was playing house with Michael and Jeffrey, and I could not play with you, and I was so sad. I was so sad that I went into the depths of the darkest corner of the closet. I turned on my CD, and I just hoop knit as as I'm listening to you guys laugh and have so much fun in the living room just on the other side of the wall as I poop knit.
That's literally a villain origin story. Oh, I was the worst.
The most LDS CD ever.
Not Jericho Rowe.
I know. I'm just listening to it being like, God understands me. He gets me. He's felt it all.
Oh my gosh. Not my terrible actions bringing you to a testimony.
It really is the first time I felt the atonement.
Your devil sister, and you're like, maybe God is real.
Jesus Christ had friends turn away against him, and I have my siblings turn against me, but it's okay. He knows what that's like.
So what you're saying is, I'm the reason. You know God. So in a way, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Guys, you know how I said in Nikki's episode, not me, I'm not talking in third person, my friend Nikki, in that episode, about how you're gonna be the villain in some people's story. Like, listen, sometimes it's strangers, and sometimes, for a short period of time, it's your family members. Thank goodness you forgive me. That is terrible. If somebody else told me that story, I'd be like, that is the saddest thing I've ever heard. I can't believe you speak to them.
Oh, I told that story just the other day, and that's exactly what they said.
But I mean, I think anybody with siblings.
Yeah, I think you've all got that story.
I mean, you've like beat each other up and then been like, hey, sorry about that. I think sisters, to be honest, I hear stories about sisters, and that crap is crazy to me.
Well, also the physical aspect. We were never physical with any one of us.
Like punching and
like
stuff?
punching and wrestling or anything. At least I don't remember a whole lot of physicality.
I was more emotionally manipulative for sure. Because you guys were way bigger than me.
That's true.
Plus, had you ever like hurt me, you would have gone down for that.
Yeah. And even with Michael and Jeffrey, I don't think, but...
Although I did very violently one time kick Michael in the head.
Did you really?
Yeah. Honestly, I hate to air out dirty laundry, especially when it's my own, but... No, I did do that, and there were witnesses. My friend was there. I could have given him a concussion.
Yeah.
I kicked him in the head.
Oh, wow. Jeez, girl.
Sorry, Michael.
Sorry.
Well, and if you know Michael, too.
It's okay. He doesn't listen to this either.
Yeah. So true. But if you know Michael, it makes it even sadder because he is like an angel child. He's a very, very kind person and everyone's favorite in our family. So the fact that I did that to him of all people, it's like, oh man, I have changed. I am a new woman. You know how I found God? Was realizing what a terrible person I was.
Was through the reflection pool.
I didn't like what I saw in the mirror.
Yeah.
It was like, I've been a terrible person. But you know, we both got there in the end.
Got there. We're good. The other thing that I remember, we fought all the time, just verbally, just screaming and yelling at each other. We could not agree on anything, and it was so bad. So I remember us being on vacation with the Jexes, our family friend, in Palm Springs. I remember Dave having to pull me aside after one of our big arguments or whatever. He was like, you have to be nice to your sister. You have to figure this out. Because one day, she's going to have really hot friends. And that could be your future wife. And that was the first time where I thought maybe my sister could be useful to me later on in life. It didn't come true, but it was the first time I had a positive thought about you.
You know, thanks, Dave. That's really funny.
I was like 15 or something like that.
And I feel like that's when things started changing.
Well, it didn't change until I was 16 and I got my driver's license. Then all of a sudden, it clicked in your brain, wait a second, he could drive me somewhere. And I was like, wait a second, she wants to hang out with me because I can drive. Maybe, just maybe, we could be friends. You need to be driven somewhere, I could drive, therefore, let's stop fighting and...
Make an alliance.
Yeah, make an alliance, make a truce, and we shook over the border.
See, I think it was because you got a job, and you weren't home all the time.
And you saw me less?
Yes, you weren't home to bug me all the time, get in my way. Plus, by that time, I had my job. I was nannying and stuff.
Yeah, it's around that time where we actually finally were like, hey, we can grow up a little bit. I mean, if you look at my Facebook, there are very few videos that are public. And the 3 videos that are public are you and me singing Home in the car. I don't know if you know this. Literally, anytime somebody friends me on Facebook and they see that video, they're like, who is this girl? I'm like, that's my sister.
I have not seen this video.
Singing Home.
Philip Phillips?
Yeah, from Philip Phillips, man.
You sound like Goofy.
Yeah, that was our Goofy face.
Are you driving?
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think Mom is driving, but...
Okay, I was like, why would I be in the back if you were driving?
That's like one of the public videos that I have. And I don't ever want to take that down because it's a good memory. It's a good video. I'm like, hey, this is my sister, and we have fun.
Aww. I'll put it on Instagram so you all can see us. Just to let you know before you watch it, we were singing like Goofy from Mickey Mouse. Mm-hmm. So just be fair warned, but that's so adorable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely say rough childhood, then we had an alliance.
Better teens.
Way better teens. And then by the time you were like leaving for your mission, I was genuinely sad. I was like, aw, wait, we're like besties now. Then you got home, got married to your beautiful wife, high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
Sarah. Yeah. And then you guys struggled with infertility a little bit. Mm-hmm. Which we're gonna get into. Then you had Brig, just the cutest kid that you've ever seen in your whole life. And here we are now.
Yeah.
To start, I think I'm gonna go with how this all came to be. A couple weeks back, Robbie sends me this text message. When did you send it to me?
She doesn't have to scroll up very far. We don't text very often.
I know. But when I do text, it's 3 million paragraphs. Okay, here it is. It says, Late Night Thoughts by Robbie. If you ever want me to come on the pod and talk about Down syndrome, Brig, our experience, and to loudly agree with your opinions, I'd be down. So then I, of course, text back and was like, my brother, I am so happy to hear you say this. I'd be overjoyed to have you on the pod to talk about the love of my life, which is my nephew, and all about their story, which is what we're going to discuss today. But here's what's important about this story, is I respond and I say, that'd be awesome. That'd be great. And then I say, so does this mean that you've been listening to my podcast? And you go, no. Why in the world would I listen to your podcast? But if you need me on, I'm happy to oblige. Is that not the most sibling energy ever? Of like, no, I'm not actually listening to what you're doing, but I'd be happy to be a guest on it.
And I want you to know I probably got about 10 minutes worth of listening time.
You know what? Fair. I don't expect family and friends to listen to it because you all know me.
You know, you are a lot. And when we get together, it's a lot.
Yeah,
I do feel like I want to save some of those conversations for when we get together because it's fun to just loudly scream opinions at one another and let that be the time that we spend with one another.
Right. But I feel like I don't expect anyone in the family to listen, and some of me like doesn't want anybody in the family to listen because like that's all of me going out there. I'm okay with like strangers judging, but at the same time, when I bring up a topic, if you listen to the pod, then you will already know my points. Like, I'm not competing to make my points.
Oh, I see.
As I am in the family. I don't know if you've noticed, but we're both so loud.
We're loud. We're loud people.
Loud. When you get our entire family together, bring some earplugs. And you better not be shy, because you will not speak. If you are some shy, quiet little thing, you will be eaten alive.
That was Sarah's when we first got married. That was her. It took a while for her to get used to just listening to us and being like, oh, you guys don't hate one another. You just like to hear yourself talk. To that point, what I struggle with the most about listening to the podcast is that I can't verbally say anything back to you like I would normally, right?
Right. Tell me that I'm wrong.
Not even tell you that you're wrong. Even when you're right, I want to emphatically agree with you out loud. That's what we do. We either emphatically be like, yes, or it's like, why would you think that way?
I think everyone in our family is very set in their opinions, and we are not afraid to vocalize.
Well, I also think that for the comedic aspect of it, we'll stick to our points more than we actually have feelings for that point.
Oh, absolutely. Honestly, it's a humor competition.
It really is.
When our family gets together, it's who is gonna come out the funniest out of this evening. It's a hoot and a holler when we're all together, because we got some class A comedians up in our group. I feel like our dad, his humor is sophisticated, very witty, but then Jeffrey, he's very quick. I mean, I think I'm hilarious. You're okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Michael brings some things to the table, and so does our mom, you know? I think the sister-in-laws, it must be overwhelming for them.
I totally think it is overwhelming for them, 100%.
We're like, you're not gonna participate in the competition?
You're just gonna sit there and take it?
Think of a rebuttal.
Come up with something quicker.
I want to be laughing at what you're saying.
It's the reason why I love sitcoms, and I love certain types of sitcoms. I really enjoy the quick-witted. Reba is one of the best shows for that purpose. Reba had no reason to be as good as it is, but I hate cringy humor. I hate The Office. I can't do The Office.
Really? I didn't know this.
Yeah. It feels unrealistic. It's just so cringeworthy. I can't do cringy humor.
How do you feel about Parks and Rec?
I haven't really gotten into it, but Parks and Rec is under very similar veins, where I've seen enough clips where I'm like, okay, there are some funny moments, but I wouldn't do Parks and Rec either. The Office, I was solely in it for Jim and Pam, and I watched it once, and I will never watch it again.
Okay, opinions on Modern Family and New Girl.
Modern Family is amazing. I love Modern Family. Phil is the best ADHD dad you've ever seen on television. I like the family dynamics. I think they did great there. New Girl is the best show known to mankind. I can literally watch any episode of New Girl at any moment and feel good about myself. In fact, when Sarah and I have hard days, we will just randomly pick a season, pick an episode, and just go. Because we love New Girl so much, it makes our life so much better.
I just can't relate.
I hate you. No, I'm kidding.
I emphatically disagree. I know, I just haven't gone into New Girl. You're saying to me that The Office is cheesy, but nothing feels more cheesy to me than New Girl.
Well, if you're taking Zooey Deschanel's character, if you're taking as it is, yes, that is kind of cringy, but you're not watching it for her character. You're watching it for Nick and Schmidt and Coach and Winston.
I was once told by someone who I would not consider a friend. They think I'm a lot like Jess. Thoughts on that?
Oh, I emphatically disagree.
Oh, good. Okay, that makes me feel better.
I don't think so.
Okay, perfect. And this is coming from someone who was raised with me.
I've known you for a couple years.
Just a few. All right, since we're in the movie portion, let's just keep going forward. Let's discuss something that we disagree on.
Okay.
All right? Here's something I really love about you, is that you are a chick flick watcher, a proud chick flick watcher, which I love. I think that comes from our dad, because our dad, his favorite movie ever is
it Pride and Prejudice?
Yes.
Wait, do that again. I want to sound more confident.
Sorry, that's all you get. It was really fun growing up in a house as the only girl with a dad that liked chick flick movies, and then I feel like I had brothers that enjoyed them as well, so we would all watch them together. I liked it that when I was playing a chick flick, it wasn't this like toxic masculinity of like, turn it off, I want to watch guns shooting. Everyone was down for a chick flick in the Kelly household, which now leads us to our differing opinions on chick flicks. So most recently, Robbie texted me and he's like, you have to go see Anyone But You. It was so good. We've already heard me bash on this, but I just want to know, when I texted you and said I didn't like it, did that hurt you in a way?
I'm used to you disappointing me. I've come to terms as an adult that you also have your own set of wrong opinions. I enjoyed Anyone But You for what it was. That was a classic chick flick. It had the right enough cheese for me to keep me engaged, to keep me being like, oh, that's sweet, or oh, that's
That's so cringy.
When he's grabbing her butt and she's grabbing his butt, I died. And then the whole spider thing, the fact that nobody saw a single thing was the best part of that whole sequence in that movie. I loved it to death. Totally unrealistic, but it's the chick flick nature of it, right?
Right.
I enjoyed the quirky situations they got in. I enjoyed the romantic banter.
I think I've said my piece on Anyone But You. I'm not really feeling like an argument. So let's talk really quick about chick flicks. What are some of your ones that you feel like everyone should watch? Kind of your rankings, or maybe some that you hate.
Well, Sarah and I recently watched The Notebook.
For the first time?
No, not for the first time, but for the first time since like high school. And how on earth was I allowed to watch that in high school? There is so much sex and bare skin. When's the last time you watched The Notebook?
Like 2 months ago. They have sex like what?
No, it's like 3 times.
Okay, no, you're right. When they're adults. I'm thinking when they were teenagers, it was just once.
It was just the once, but it was more intimate scenes than I was used to for a regular PG-13 movie, showing almost stuff. It had been so long, I forgot that this was...
Why women like it.
Yeah. And why my teenage self liked it too.
Right.
Why I enjoyed that as a teenager.
That's so funny. That does not come to mind. When I think of the Notebook movie,
Oh, yeah?
the scene of if you're a bird, I'm a bird is what comes to mind.
I don't even know that's... I don't
Okay,
even know
clearly our minds are on different things. I'm just kidding.
We just watched The Notebook. That was okay. Something that we really liked was the one from Netflix about the 2 coworkers who hook up their bosses.
It's with Zoe Deutsch and the guy from Anyone But You.
Yeah.
Set It Up. That one's good.
Set It Up is a good one. I didn't realize I'd be talking about chick flicks, so I didn't have my list ready.
I literally said.
You said, what movies have you watched recently?
I said chick flicks too. I texted you.
Oh, my bad. I wasn't ready for a chick flick list. I'm sorry.
Good. Hey, that's okay. What else you been watching?
We've been recently watching Last Man Standing.
Oh, solid.
Love Last Man Standing.
In case anybody doesn't know, there was originally a show called Home Improvement with Tim Allen, and he was the father of 3 boys. We kind of grew up on that show called Home Improvement. It was a sitcom type of show. It was really good. Then, in his older years, it's opposite dynamics. Instead of being a father with a wife and then 3 sons, he's now a father with a wife with 3 daughters, and it's called Last Man Standing. And it is a really good time, especially if you were fans of Home Improvement, which is a phenomenal show. It's a great sit down, easy, doesn't take a lot of effort to think about. You're not on the edge of your seat. You don't necessarily have to start the next episode.
Yeah.
It's quality humor, one that you can have in the background.
But it's also, I mean, it is very political. In the first couple of seasons, it's gotten less political now. I think we're in like season 5 or something, but it's still fun. Like I said, I like my quick-witted humor, so I can't really do intense dramas. Like Prison Break was about my breaking point.
I talked about Prison Break and how that single-handedly
messed you up.
Yeah. I had heart palpitations.
Uh-huh.
I was an anxious mess.
I know. Well, the crazy thing was, I don't know if you remember when you started Prison Break. Do you remember when you started it?
I started it Christmas Eve.
Christmas break.
And watched it in one day. And I was a mess on Christmas. I was unwell.
The further seasons, you're still unwell. I can't. Prison Break, I can't do. It's too much for me. I've been getting Prison Break scenes on my Facebook reels recently, and they're like, yo, you gotta start watching that again. And I'm like, I can't do it to myself. I can't do it to my family. I can't do it to my work. I mean, because it will consume my soul until I finish it. And I just can't go down that hole. I can't do it.
I'm with you. I remember our dad was like, you want to watch this show?
Oh yeah, we watched the one episode together and you were like, well, I guess this is my life now.
I spent the rest of the day, the entire day watching it. I was just so upset by it. I felt paranoid. I had to stop midway through season 2 because I mentally needed a break. I looked up the ending. I read a synopsis on each episode.
Oh, yeah.
So I felt some sort of closure and peace, but I could never do that again. Even knowing what's gonna happen, there was just too many themes in there that were a little too sensitive for my spirit.
That's why I do sitcoms. We're watching the last season of Young Sheldon, keeping up with that. We gotta kind of space it out. We'll watch 3 episodes, give ourselves 3 weeks and watch 3 because it's currently running right now. The Rookie. We love The Rookie. I love Nathan Fillion. In fact, how I started watching The Rookies because I was like, I need Nathan Fillion in my life. And I started it and Sarah was like, ooh, when you're married, you have to watch shows together. And it's the worst thing in the world when you have to sit down with one another and you can't move forward. So I was like, this is going to be my show. And then about halfway through season 1, she's like, this is our show. And I'm like, F! So then I watched Castle, and Castle was my show, and Castle's a good show too.
I honestly don't think I could handle that.
Watching a show with a spouse?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, either the second you get home, we're pressing play and not moving from the couch, either you're as committed as I am, or it needs to be a show that I've seen all the way through recently, and then I can rewatch at a slower speed. But I'm such a binger that unless you can keep up with me, I'm leaving you behind. I'm sorry. That's probably going to be in my vows. I can't agree to that kind of contract.
The sacrifices you make, that's
a
a hill you'll die on, huh?
I don't know about dying on it, but it's something I do feel pretty serious about.
That's fine.
But I don't know, maybe 5 years from now, I'll feel differently, but...
Yeah, after you've watched everything.
Exactly. No, once it's all just on rewatch.
Once I've seen it all.
But I will say, I mean, I watch shows with my roommates. Mm-hmm. It's kind of our couple shows. You know, like, I watched all of Modern Family with Sam.
But once again, it's shows that you've already seen.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not doing a new show. I did have Nicole. She's the only one that's been able to keep up with me when it comes to a show. So we've binged multiple shows together for 8 straight hours.
Gosh.
And that's a true friend. If you can willingly commit to 8 hours with me watching something, you're ride or die.
That's a young person's game, holy.
Bridgerton, just a solid Sunday. We came home from church, and then it was nonstop. Just episode 1, and the next thing we knew, it's 11 p.m., and we're on the final episode. I was like, oh, I know that you are a Swiftie.
Yeah, I can listen to Red Taylor's version any day of the week, all the time. In fact, when it came out, that was the week I went to London the first time, and that's all I listened to in London. So when I went the second time, I decided that's all I'm listening to. Red is now my London track. I love it so much.
So what did you think of the new album?
Actually, I really like it. It's in the same vein as Folklore and Evermore. And I wasn't a huge fan of those in that I'm not listening to it constantly. A lot more heartbreak, a lot more emotion behind a lot of things, which I really do enjoy. I really do. What I have to do is stop thinking like a Swiftie and being like, who is this about? I don't care, okay? Just let me feel the emotion and let it be about like, well, what if this was me? What if I was feeling this way? And that is where I really think Taylor Swift speaks to a lot of her audience. It's not an album for everybody. It's not a pop album. She has evolved her music to different genres, different people, different emotions. And that's where this one falls under.
I agree. I love Folklore, Evermore. The second it's raining outside, I'm putting those on.
Oh, okay.
That is my rainy, moody music. I love that. This one, out of, 35 songs, I think there was 7 that I really, really liked. But a lot of them sounded similar to me. I'm not enough of a Swiftie to get into the who is this about and this connects to this in this way. I'm invested enough to watch other people tell me about it. You know, I'm not gonna research it myself, but I'll watch the TikTok videos or whatever it happens to be about it. Just from a listening perspective, there was 7 songs I liked, but by no means is this an album that I am like, this is amazing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad we could talk that through.
Okay.
Where do you want to start? Do you want to kind of just start us at the journey of getting to Brit?
Yeah. Quick background, Sarah and I met as participants at EFY in 2014. EFY is a week-long youth camp, basically, where we go to a local college and get to stay in the dorms and just kind of participate in different classes. Right before our senior year of high school, she lived 2 hours north of where we lived, so we couldn't really date a whole lot, but I think we went on like 7 dates between August and May when we graduated. I left on my mission to Canada, Vancouver. She left 6 months later to Yakima, Washington. We got home within a month of one another and were married 6 months later. We did write our whole missions. Not only did we do handwritten letters, we did emails. It was pretty obvious that this was going to be the girl I was going to marry. In fact, the way I knew that was my entire life I wanted to go to BYU for college. I took honors courses, I took extracurriculum, everything to go to BYU. I got accepted to Utah State, which is the college where she's from, and I did not get accepted to BYU. I distinctly remember being so disappointed, but going outside and having the distinct thought that my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways your ways. And it was that moment that I was like, okay, I'm going to Utah State to marry Sarah, and then I can go to BYU. And that's exactly what happened. I went to Utah State, we got married in 6 months, and then 3 months later I got my acceptance to BYU, and we moved down to BYU so I could finish my schooling. I didn't really want to have kids immediately. We needed to get to know one another. We needed to figure things out together first.
You really had high school and then 2 years apart and then 6 months back together being married. So that makes total sense.
And we're 20. We're 20 years old.
Right. Lest anybody forget.
Yeah, lest anybody forget what age I am, and that is a 20-year-old child.
But don't you worry, in Utah County, the clock starts ticking the second you land back in Salt Lake City after your mission.
Yeah.
So really, you did follow protocol. You met your wife at a church function, you went on a mission, and then you married the same girl when you got home, and then you went to BYU.
You know what? I am a stereotypical LDS individual, if you think about it that way, yes.
Which I think it's very cute and adorable, but then having me come second and not following that path at all, it definitely felt very like black sheepish, where I was like, oh, well, I'm actually not gonna do any of that. Which once again shows kind of like our differences as people.
Yeah.
Any sort of box that I feel like I have to check, I'm instantly like, ew.
Yeah, which I am all about the boxes.
I'm over here like, can I make my own box? Can it be a circle? Okay, but continue.
So, I got married in 2017, so we didn't start trying to have kids until probably about mid-2019, when I knew I was going to be graduated and then moving on with the next box to tick. And we did not realize how difficult that would be for us. We did struggle with infertility for about 3.5 years. You can't get tests done until you've struggled for a year. So we tried for a year and then we still weren't pregnant. So we're like, okay, now we go and do the tests. I was fine, she was fine, and we're just not getting pregnant. It really took a heavy toll on both of us, and we had to really kind of come to terms with the fact that all of our friends from high school, everybody you're friends on Facebook with, it's like every other day somebody's got a baby announcement. Baby number 2, baby number 3. And we really had to separate our sorrow of how difficult it was with our joy for our friends and family, because that is a wonderful time. So we just kind of had to navigate that. But when we finally did get pregnant, Sarah got her wish in that she really wanted to announce it at Christmas time. So when we found out December of 2021, she was completely overjoyed. I completely ruined the pregnancy announcement that she wanted to give to me.
Typical.
I absolutely ruined how she wanted to tell me she was pregnant.
Oh.
So she found out. I come home from work. What do I do typically? Take off all my clothes. Immediately, she can't record anything. But I come home and she was like, hey, there was a Christmas present that came that I want you to open now. And as I'm stripping down, I'm like, no, just wait till Christmas. She's like, but I really want to give it to you. I'm like, no, just wait for Christmas. Don't ruin my Christmas. I'm walking in between my rooms as I'm throwing laundry away. And finally, she's like, Robbie, just stop. I'm pregnant. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess you have to tell me that. And that's That's literally what I said. Then we hugged and cried and did all of that. But it was not your jumping for joy surprise that she wanted to give me.
You are terrible.
Well, I had no idea.
Oh, poor
But
Sarah.
it's a funny story. So we found out we were pregnant. That was great. Love telling you guys at Christmas time. We did normal pregnancy things. We opted not to do a genetic test because why would we? We didn't feel the need to or anything.
Is that something that's offered to everybody?
That is something that's offered to everybody. What I didn't realize and what I didn't know was that the primary purpose is to decide if whether or not you want to abort. And I had no idea. That has never once crossed my mind as even an option. So I never considered genetic testing for that. I mean, I can figure out the gender of the baby through an ultrasound, so I don't need genetic testing to tell me the gender.
So you could have known.
We could have known. Yep, we totally could have.
Got you. Okay.
Yep. If we have future children, then we do need to do genetic testing just because higher risk of having Down syndrome again. But we had no idea, and we had no indication that we should. There are a couple of indicators of Down syndrome throughout the pregnancy. Kidney size and bladder size, I believe. We went to one appointment, they're like, yeah, the kidney's small, that might be an indicator of Down syndrome. But when we had our follow-up appointment the next week, they were back to normal. They're like, nope, he's fine. At 36 weeks, he was still breech. He had lower fetal movement. And it wasn't until her 37-week appointment where I had a huge prompting that I should go with her to that appointment. So we're at that appointment at 37 weeks, and she's like, you know, I want you to get a second opinion at labor and delivery, but you might be singing happy birthday today. So we find out from labor and delivery that we're going to have a baby at 37 weeks. That's great. That's fine. He's normal size and everything. We have the C-section. Everything is fine. Baby is screaming, doing all the things that they want him to do. And doctor finishes up what he's doing. And then he comes around the sheet. He says to us, there are several indicators to me that your son has Down syndrome. That was a very still moment for us. Sarah was still in shock from everything. So she said, wait, what? And it only took us, I think, a split second to look at one another and then to say, that's all right. It was a very spiritual moment in that particular moment. Then the whirlwind of everything happened afterwards, but I want to talk about that moment for just a second. In that I do believe that Heavenly Father prepares people and prepares parents and prepared us specifically for that at-birth diagnosis. A lot of people in the community find out beforehand. They find out through the genetic testing. There is this almost stigma, I want to say, of a mourning period that you would have, that your child won't be normal and there might be a myriad of things that you might have to go through. So a lot of people believe that if you have the at-birth diagnosis, that is just heightened even more. Feeling that, oh, wait a second, my kid isn't the normal kid that I thought he was going to be 10 seconds ago. We didn't have any of that. We didn't have this sense of mourning. We didn't have this sense of dread or fear. It was just pure spiritual acceptance. Sarah, the week prior, had this feeling to do research on Down syndrome. There was no indicator whatsoever that he had Down syndrome, but she just wanted to let herself entertain the idea of what if. And I believe that was Heavenly Father really opening that door. And then she said, okay, I've done my research. I've kind of closed that door. That is fine. And I really do think that that's how God prepared her. I've grown up being around special needs kids. And I do distinctly remember feelings a couple of times in my life. It was just a subtle prompting sporadically throughout my life that was, you will have a child with special needs. It turned out that it was not inheritable. We had to get genetically tested. Our chromosomes are fine. It was just a mutation for Brigham. But it was this rare case for him.
Wow. First off, thank you for sharing that. What was the reaction that people gave you when you announced that Brig had Down syndrome?
We live in a culture and in a religious culture where we got a very unique perspective on special needs. And for me, I'm still trying to wrestle with that a little bit. In our religion, we're taught that accountability is everything. And those who have special needs who are not accountable are these special and unique spirits who come to earth to gain a body but are already perfected in our Heavenly Father's eyes. Have this opportunity to come to earth and to bless the lives of others, while having their station secured in heaven.
That's something that I think is unique to our beliefs. And because of that, we view, as you said, special needs children as gifts from God. Of course, there's a huge spectrum to special needs. That's such a umbrella term.
Yeah.
But overall, we typically view it as a positive and not a negative in our church culture specifically. And then as Americans, I think it's also seen as a positive more often than it is negative. So I think that both of those play into it as well.
I think so. My one thing is, and the one thing a lot of people are saying is, oh, isn't it so great to have an angel in your family that has a guaranteed ticket to heaven, basically. While I appreciate the sentiment and I love the connotation behind it, what I have no idea is if it's true. I have no idea what his cognitive ability will be, what the accountability, the agency will actually be. So I don't hold that against anybody, but that one for me is a time thing. You find out over time just how much they can comprehend, how much they can understand, and I'm excited for that. I really am. People were very loving and very accepting. I saved everybody's text responses on my notes of what Mom and Dad said, what you said, and Michael and Jeffrey. Those I hold very dear and actually sacred to me. What was it like when you heard that Brig had Down syndrome?
When I saw the pictures of him, I knew that he had special needs of some kind. His face was very swollen.
And the neck.
The neck, he had like almost no neck. Originally, my major in college was special education. So I took all of the special ed classes. So I've seen lots of pictures of children with special needs, specifically Down syndrome, at birth. And immediately I was like, this looks like what I've seen in my textbooks. And my roommate at the time was a special ed teacher. So I took my phone out to her. I was like, this is my nephew. Do you think, and I didn't even have to finish the sentence. And she was like, does he have Down syndrome? I was like, I think he does. And then the text came in that said that Brig had Down syndrome. So to me, things were adding up. I especially was excited because of my schooling. I've always loved children with special needs. I did peer tutor as well for many years. I felt for you guys and the possible emotions that you might be having, and I wanted to be really sensitive to that and not just come in celebrating, just in case you weren't in that headspace.
Yeah.
But as an aunt, oh, I was pumped. Are you kidding me? This is the first grandkid on our side. This is the child that made me an aunt. And I'm the fun traveling single aunt, and I will definitely fit that persona. I was really excited for that reason, but then to find out he had special needs on top of it, I was just elated with the joy that I felt like this is gonna bring to our family and the closeness. And truly, I just felt like there was no better parents to have Brig come into than you and Sarah.
I thought to myself, the moment when you texted and you're like, I'm so excited, I broke down crying in the hospital because I was like, this is finally something of just allowing us to come closer, because she has this in now where if we as siblings don't have as much in common, we can have this in with Brig. And this I was excited for.
Oh, by the way, I'm sure people are gonna be like, his name is Brick? No, it's Brig, B-R-I-G. It is short for Brigham, just so everybody knows. Now, Brig's almost 2. What have some of the biggest challenges been?
We're quickly thrust into a medical world. He was in the NICU for 5 weeks, primarily because he could not swallow liquids. For the first full year, and still today, he cannot handle thin liquids. We couldn't do a normal bottle with formula or breast milk and just feed it to him. A bottle had to be prepared with thickener, and that took 8 to 10 minutes to thicken. All of our friends who have babies at the same time or anything can just shake a bottle of formula and water and stuff it in their baby's face. We have to literally have a bottle warmer. It has to be a certain temperature. It's got to be a certain thickness and all these things in order for it to be safe for Brig.
Oh, so he's just got to cry for like 10 minutes.
We had to stick on a very strict schedule to feed him so that way we didn't get into a massive crying fest. But that meant that we couldn't really go anywhere. Of all the medical things that we have encountered, most of them have been minor in relation to what it could be. It is typical with Down syndrome to have heart problems, to have kidney problems, thyroid problems, eye issues, a myriad and a host of other things. We have been so blessed to not have to deal with a lot of those.
At this point, how many surgeries has Brig had?
3. He had his G-tube, he had the eye tubes, and then the third he had ear tubes put in, as well as a scope of his throat at that time, where we found out he had a very floppy airway. But yeah, I think he's had 3 where he's had to go under.
Which, I mean, again, as you said, when it comes to this world, that's pretty incredible that it's only 3.
Yeah, we recognize how blessed we are, and we love seeing the progress of other children who have Down syndrome who go through so much more, and we just love seeing their progress as well, because it is all amazing progress.
So what would you say is an unexpected joy that has come because of Brig, but especially because of his diagnosis?
Brig is very sensitive to others. Something that just brings me to tears is we had an unexpected passing of somebody in our home neighborhood. We were in that neighborhood the next day. We saw some neighbors out on the street talking with one another. We decided to pull over and get out and talk with them, console one another. And I'm holding him, and the moment I get him out of the car, he immediately reaches out for somebody and just gives him a hug. And it is like a 10-second hug, which for an 18-month-old to sit still for 10 seconds like that is unheard of. But to just hug him is exactly what the man needed, what we needed, and Brig was just so sensitive to that. He's so good. Whenever we're at church, he wants to go out to the foyer, and he will just crawl to the base of somebody who's sitting out in the foyer, look up at them, wave, go to the next person, and he just wants to wave at every person. The joy on everybody's faces are just amazing. And we have to remind ourselves that the highlight of somebody's day is probably an 18-month-old with Down syndrome coming up and waving at you. And I, as a parent, though I don't want to be a disturbance to others, I just have to hold myself back and say, you know what? I'm just going to let him. I'm going to let other people experience him, because I want them to experience him. I want them to feel of the love that he has to give to them. And he gives so much.
Guys, I'm so excited for you to see the pictures on the Instagram. He is truly one of the most photogenic children ever. And obviously, we're both biased. But I'm telling you, objectively, he is so freaking cute. Our family photos that we took, are we kidding? His hands in the air, just waving at the camera. He's so stinking adorable. Now we end how we always do. What hills are you dying on, brother?
One that I'll defend with my last breath is, if my food is in a bowl, give me a freaking spoon. Don't give me a fork.
No matter the food.
No matter the food, okay? There's bowl food and bowl-specific food, and there is what's considered plate-specific food, but you can have plate food in bowls, i.e. shepherd's pie that I had last week. If I have something in a bowl, give me a spoon.
What if it's a salad?
Well, nobody asked you about your opinion. It's my time.
Hey, listen.
Okay.
I'm saying you gotta defend what you're saying. Exactly why I just clarified that.
Salads don't go in bowls, they go in ramekins, okay? That's different.
Points were made. How about this? What about at like Cup Bop, when you got your noodles in a bowl, and then you got like veggies and stuff on top?
Give me a spoon.
You're gonna eat noodles with a spoon?
Hey, you told me I was to die on this hill. I'll die on it.
I didn't say you had to die. I just said, what are the hills you're gonna die on? But I think that this is good. I'm proving that maybe you wouldn't.
Maybe that all bowl food is for spoons?
Yeah, you know
Okay.
what? That was a bold statement.
All right, for most of my bowl food, I want a spoon.
Okay, so you're halfway up there.
Okay, all right. Thank you. All right, another one. Brushing your teeth in the shower is 100% appropriate. Blowing your nose is disgusting.
What? I'm sorry. That's your line?
That is my line.
I'm about to gag.
No, I'm about to gag. You blow your nose in the shower, that is disgusting.
But brushing your teeth?
It's perfectly fine and normal.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. The water's there already.
I am not okay.
Give it a shot.
No.
Give it a whirl. Save yourself some time.
No, that doesn't, no.
Yeah, you finish washing your body, you finish washing your hair, you just grab your toothbrush and toothpaste, it's all there.
But you know what? You're not insane, because obviously there are other people who do this, and I guess if you're looking at it from an environmental perspective...
Oh, I couldn't care less. This is pure convenience.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Let us be clear.
Yeah, let us be clear. This is all convenient.
Got it. Okay, continue on.
Another thing that's important...
I love how you went from I'll die on it to,
it's important. No,
it's important. Sorry I made you doubt yourself.
No. Another one for me is if we are watching a movie or a TV show together, phones must be down. If you must be on your phone, we will pause the show. You could be on your phone, have your phone allotted time, and then we go back to the show.
Oh yeah, I'm with you on that one. Especially if I'm showing you something new that I have seen before and you haven't, and I'm wanting to share the joy with you.
I am trying to share this with you.
I'm trying to have a moment.
And you cannot be off your stupid phone and off of Instagram for 2 seconds to watch this with me?
Yes.
Like, no, I'm multitasking. No, you're not. It's not multitasking.
You can't watch multiple videos at once.
Yeah.
I can't be reading something and watching something at the same time because I'm not intaking auditorily when I'm reading as well. I can be playing a game. That's different because I understand, you know, like sometimes people need to like knit or play a game or do something with their hands, a little Candy Crush. I like the paint by numbers on your phone. I'm chill if you're doing that while listening to something. But I guess I'm so locked in that I'm like, whoa, you're missing it.
Yeah.
You're missing it. Like, pay attention.
Yep.
Did you catch that? No, I'm
Yep.
pretty sure you didn't because you were looking at your phone.
I know. I have to pause and explain a lot of things all the time. And I think growing up, movie time was family time and show time was family time. So this is how I connect with you emotionally and spend time with one another, quality time.
Oh, absolutely. We were a TV family for sure.
It's why I love watching new shows with Sarah. The only time it's acceptable if it's something both of you have already seen and you just are putting it in the background and you're like, I just want to spend time with you. We're going to watch a show, but you can be on your phone.
Yeah, I will say my specific criteria is if I am specifically showing you this movie or showing you this show, then yeah, I would appreciate you paying attention to me via this show.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
The last one that I'll say, that songs must be sung in the octave they are originally sung in.
I love it when we get to the nitty gritty niche, like the true irritants.
If you are taking it down an octave because it's too high, well then you shouldn't be singing it.
Oh, okay.
All right? Sing it the way it was sung. Also, don't go off doing your own harmony because you're wrong.
I absolutely disagree. I can't harmonize to save my life. And so when other people can, I'm instantly impressed. Like, that's honestly all you have to do to impress me is turn on a song
and sing the wrong notes?
Yes. But make it blend.
Make it blend. I'm okay with harmonies if it's in the song.
Oh, okay.
If you have somebody who's harmonizing in the song, then it is acceptable for you to sing the harmony alongside them.
Sure, because you're singing.
Because you're singing the freaking song. But if you are making up your own harmony, I didn't ask you to do your own remix of the song. I am trying to enjoy the song as I know it to be. If I asked you to sing it, I would have turned it off and said, can you sing this song for me?
It's a good one. I disagree. I will not be climbing up on that, but I love that you will lay down your life for that. Does this happen often?
Yes, it does. I do sing spontaneously all the time.
And who is it that's hopping in?
I can't say people.
It's not one person in particular.
I don't have a single individual. There's not a one person I spend all my time with that does that. I'm just talking about people in general. If it were to happen, I'd be upset.
Have you told all of these individuals that this is a hill you're gonna die on? Or is this podcast gonna be the reveal? I'm just double checking that you're okay with me putting this in.
We're stronger than a harmony.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Any others?
I have chapstick strategically placed in every aspect of my life. Don't you dare move them. I have my keyboard chapstick, and 2 feet away is my nightstand chapstick. That does not mean you get to touch my nightstand chapstick and move it somewhere else.
Are a lot of people doing that?
No, that is something that I make sure that every person in my life knows.
Do you have a chapstick addiction as well?
Yep.
What's your brand?
Oh, I'm a Burt's Bees boy.
He's a Burt's Bees boy.
I'm a Burt's Bees boy. I like the tingle for myself and
for
people.
For all of the people.
All people I might interact with.
Got it.
I think that is it.
Any last words?
I like hanging out with you. I think you're very fun. I probably will listen to this episode because I'm in it.
And that is the most sibling sentence ever.
I love you.
I love you too. Because you don't listen to my podcast, you don't know this, but I do have a sign off, which I have every guest do.
Oh.
So you're going to get this moment.
Okay. All right.
I will feed it to you.
Okay.
Because once again, you've never listened. Thanks for listening to our thoughts on life. So say that first.
Okay. And then what?
Do you want both parts now? Most people need it in 2 segments.
2 segments? 2 whole segments for 2 whole sentences?
Yes. Thanks for listening to our thoughts on life, because this has been Life According to...
Thanks for listening to our thoughts on life. What was the second part?
Get out!
Thanks for listening to our thoughts on life, because this has been Life According to Robbie.